Hello, my name is Virginia and I'm a graphic design student, and this video is about my journey through the Self-Initiated Briefs module. A self-initiated brief is a project that expresses the individual values and the vision of the person making it, as well as their creativity, their technical skills, their competence and their enthusiasm. I started this module by doing a brainstorm of several ideas that I had in my head, and some of these ideas are an app to learn graphic design, a daily design app, a book, a planner, a magazine, a box for designers, a design card game, or a web page for a site with creative challenges. I also brainstormed about a few skills that I wanted to acquire with this project. For example, watercolors, lettering, illustration, motion graphics, app design, scrapbooking, type design, 3D graphics, etc. And finally, I jotted down some ideas of topics that I could cover that align with my values. Some of these topics are, of course, graphic design and creativity, entrepreneurship, books and magazines, pens and notebooks, planning, organization, feminism. So my initial idea was to create a card game for designers, which will be used by designers like me to improve our skills. The couple of ideas I had for this game will be 1, a brief generator, and 2, cards that help you questioning certain aspects of a project, and this is especially important when you are working on a self-initiated brief. The second topic that I consider is women, so I thought about creating some kind of service or product that help them or us to value ourselves, to get jobs, to improve our lives in general. And then I came up with the idea of creating t-shirts for women, and the idea came inspired by the growing amount of women's marches that are happening around the world, and especially that happened during 2018. So straight away, I created a brainstorm and I called it Women Empowering T-shirts, or WET. At this point, I thought it was really good to have a company name with an acronym that meant something else, so I could actually play with the words in a funny way. My idea from the beginning was to give voice to women, to create something of value for them, and t-shirts was the first thing that came to mind. Some of the topics that I will be covering are equality, gender violence, race, self-confidence, and feminism in general. I thought about a very specific target audience, which is women of about 18 to 40 years old that are proactive on social media, that attend to women's marches, and that have a very relaxed fashion style, because the t-shirts in general will be very basic, but just with beautiful designs with different quotes. And the quotes I will use for this are things that people are already saying on social media. In terms of the basic idea, the purpose, the context, and the target audience hasn't changed that much from the beginning. So I worked for a while with the idea and the name Women Empowering T-shirts. So I sketched some logos, I created a mood board for WET, and I also created the first pitch, which I have to say is quite long, is disorganized, and for some reason I started using pink, which is one of the things that later on I will realize that I don't really like, just because it's another preconception of women, which is that everything has to be that color. I continued my research on this topic, and I realized that for obvious reasons, I was looking at everything in English, including the quotes that I wanted to use for the t-shirts. However, I'm from Spain, and I decided to have a look at what people are doing over there, and I didn't find much. In fact, by looking at t-shirts for women with quotes on Google, the first few pages that came up are Portuguese pages, not Spanish. So then I realized that yes, there are some brands creating t-shirts with those slogans for women and for women's marches, but there are no companies really dedicated to this. And my goal with this is to actually create a brand that is targeted to women, that helps them, and that also provides this product. So that's when I decided to change the course of this brief. Since the brief is created by me, there is nothing specific on it asking for the brand to be in English. And by looking at the background and what was going on in Spain for the last year, I decided to make the change. So the basic idea is the same, but both the language and the target audience are changing slightly. So now the company is called Mujeres Empoderadas, or its acronym ME, which in Spanish it's actually a possessive, which means something that's mine. I then updated my pitch to be focused on the Spanish market, and I made it shorter, more concise. I organized the content and the information better, and I started using purple because, as I saw in my research, that's the color used for women and feminism. I started then sketching some ideas for the t-shirts. I did some further research online to see what people were saying on social media, especially on Twitter, which is the main platform I have used to research this project. And I took some of the phrases that people are already saying to use them on my designs. From there, I digitized the logo and the t-shirts and created mock-ups of the best designs. I think the mock-ups look really good. However, in my opinion, the hand lettering could be better, and having more time, I would have probably spent much longer on the designs itself rather than on the whole research. Working on a self-initiated brief is not easy. First of all, because there is no guidance, there is no client to answer questions. I also think that the project that I've been working on is quite big, and it was hard to know where to finish it. I have also struggled because at the beginning I didn't really know what a self-initiated brief was. And finally, I think I have focused too much on the research, so I haven't managed my time properly to leave a space if I wanted to actually print the t-shirts. Some of the things that I have learned with this process are to create a brief, to pitch an idea to a brief, and to actually update the pitch so it fits better what the brief is asking for. I have also learned to love my idea, because at the beginning I had so many that I didn't really know what to go for. But after working on the same idea for a while, I have realized how much it aligns with my values, and I have really enjoyed the process. Finally, I have learned to let my perfectionism go a little bit, just because I didn't have enough time to do everything I wanted to do at the beginning. If I had to change or improve something about the process, I would say that I need to plan my time better, allowing more time for feedback from my colleagues, from people on social media, and also by reaching people in Spain that are actually talking about these topics. The other thing I would change is trying to be more specific with the outcomes, because from the beginning I wanted to create a brand, I wanted to create the t-shirts, but the reality is that in 3 months I didn't have enough time to create the kind of project that I wanted to create, and also to answer everything that the module is asking for. In general, the experience of the self-initiated briefs has been very positive, because I think I have learned a lot, both from my struggles and for the things that I've done well. On my final thoughts, I think the project was quite big for a university project, because by the end of the module, I stopped considering printing the actual t-shirts, but I really like the idea and I don't want to leave it behind, especially by seeing that 2019 is bringing many more women's marches and many more movements around the world, and especially in Spain. So I really believe that this brand and the product I want to offer can become a reality in 2019. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this journey through my self-initiated briefs. Bye!